A massive thank you to all my supporters. More information on how you can support the channel at the end of the video. Tabletop RPGs are, at their core, a social experience. To start, all you really need is a game master, at least one player, a rulebook, and a set of dice. You can keep it simple or scale up with intricate miniatures, handcrafted terrain, and physical props. That flexibility is exactly where the magic lies. Game Master's role is to keep you all in tracks of the game rules, provide you a story, and most importantly, create a fun game to play. Think of him as a supercomputer that can take into account everything you throw at him and use it to build an even better experience for his players. In the 90s, early digital RPGs fought to capture this specific brand of magic that only tabletop RPGs provide. Before high-end graphics, multi-user dungeons relied on D&D rule sets to power their text-based worlds. Although they didn't offer much graphical fidelity, they were still loved by the players that could get their hands on them and showed the real potential of video games. The game with the biggest success that used the D&D rule set was no other than Baldur's Gate, made in 1998 by BioWare. It proved that the complexity of tabletop mechanics and the immersion of video games are a perfect match. If you think about it, a lot of old-school greys can easily be turned into tabletop games. Fallout 1, Arcanum, Planescape Torment, and many more. It's that rich well of infinite possibilities that I've tapped into for my own work. To build the world of the Rift of Nostaria, I drew inspiration from these three tabletop titles. Mythic Bastionland. The first game on my list is Mythic Bastionland, created by the renowned designer Chris McDowell. It's a fantasy setting where logic takes a backseat to legend. In this world, myths aren't just stories, they are active, looming forces that govern the land. Myths are nearby and they want to chat. They are inevitable. If you want to try any game of my list, I highly recommend you try this one. It's very simple if you are a player and also not that demanding if you are a game master. So what inspirations did I took from this system? First and foremost, the journey. In Mythic Bastionland, travel is handed via hex scroll. Every hex you cross consumes time, and the clock ticks. The world changes. Events are triggered based on the time of the day, and the coming of night brings genuine dread. Traveling at night is dangerous. You risk permanent exhaustion or lowered stats. This creates a brilliant tension. You leave towns fully rested, but by the time you reach your destination, you are tired, wounded, and hungry. As you should be. You've been traveling through this harsh land for many days. In Rift of Nostaria, I wanted to replicate this philosophy. Travel isn't just something that happens between the gameplay, it is the gameplay. The game will be filled with interesting events and encounters that can happen on your way from point A to point B. The myths also served as a vital reminder that we don't own the wilds. As a Polish person, I'm proud that our Slavic myths made it into the global scene thanks to The Witcher. In a fantasy world, the wilderness should be scary, weird, and fundamentally unknown. Civilization might have conquered most of the continent, but there is still something outside of its reach. Is that a witch's coven in the tree line? An all-knowing seer? A bog that appeared overnight? No one knows. Well, I know, but I'm not telling you. And finally, I just have to mention it, the aesthetic of the book is amazing. The art of Mythic Bastionland fits the theme perfectly. It's incredibly unique. Every character has a distinct color palette and a painting that captures their soul. I could sit here and admire these pages for hours. But we have 2 more games to cover, and the next one is Fading Suns. Fading Suns, a space opera set in a dying future, filled with high-tech weaponry, ancient magic, and a sun that is slowly flickering out. The setting itself has very little in common with Rift of Nostaria, but it features one of the most compelling character creation and progression systems I've ever encountered. It's a game focused on true roleplay. Your background, your age, and your professions aren't just fluff or flavor text, they are mechanically vital. During character creation, you are given a pool of points to spend however you like. Do you want to put everything into strength and just attack everyone with your hands? Sure. Go for it. Do you want to be a psychic zealot in a paladin order? Absolutely. Or perhaps a master pilot in a powerful merchant's guild. The system supports it all. But the real genius lies in unique specialties. Fading Suns allows for incredible depth in specific skills, whether it's engineering, niche schools of magic, or specialized combat skills. It's the game master's job to create opportunities for those skills to shine, and that is exactly the philosophy I'm bringing to Rift of Nostaria. In my game, advancing specific abilities will unlock entirely new gameplay layers. Progressing in the Mages Guild will unlock the systems for spellcrafting and enchanting. Mastering a specific school of magic will grant you the components needed for those custom spells. Weapon Mastery provides new combat combos and access to elite gear. The Merchant's Guild will open up exclusive trade routes and unique ways to build your fortune. Modern RPGs, like Skyrim, often allow you to become a jack of all trades, eventually mastering everything at once. That will not be the case in Rift of Nostaria. I want your character to feel truly unique and specialized. Every choice to gain power in one area is a choice to leave another behind. So, that's Fading Suns. We have one more game to go, and it's a small, very niche title that barely anyone has heard of. The game is called Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, D&D has to be here. Since Rift of Nostaria features heavy dungeon crawling elements, D&D was an unavoidable influence. I've played this game more than any other, and even if I tried to consciously avoid its shadow, the mechanics and tropes are just baked into my brain. It's impossible to ignore. It's not just a single mechanic or a specific piece of lore, it's the entire D&D DNA leaking into the world building, the bosses, the abilities and unique weapons. But more importantly, is the experience of the crawl itself. The years I've spent at the table have taught me how to design levels that feel alive. I'm taking everything I've learned about the rhythm of a campaign, the wonders looking behind every locked door, the click of a hidden trap and the environmental storytelling of a well-designed dungeon, and implementing those elements into my game. There is one more crucial lesson I've taken from D&D, and that's the power of a generic setting. D&D is beloved worldwide despite its classic fantasy tropes, because the depth is provided by the players. They are the ones who fill the world with stories. Now of course you can't translate that one-to-one into a video game, or you will end up with a world that feels empty and not very interesting, like for example Starfield. However, there has to be the space for the player to shine. He or she don't have to be the chosen one, but they need to be important in the story. The player has to feel that he can leave a lasting impact on this world, so there need to be consequences of his actions. Whether they are good or bad is not important, but there need to be consequences. Those are the three main games I've taken my inspirations from, but there is so much more that just blended with my naturally smooth brain. I love both tabletop and PC games, and if I'm able to mix those things, I see that as a massive win. What other tabletop RPG would you recommend me? You can leave a comment, as I would love to check out more games. If you're interested in supporting the project, you can do it on my Ko-fi page. The link is in the description below. Other ways of supporting are sharing the video across other RPG enthusiasts, liking, subscribing and commenting your thoughts. Thank you all for watching and see you soon.